Maple TA Exam Review Unit 3, question number 11. Ernest works at a hardware and plumbing store where he receives a commission on his sales. He must choose between two plans for his pay structure for the next year. For Plan A, Ernest's monthly salary is $1,840 and he gets 20% commission on his monthly sales. For Plan B, his monthly salary is $2,210 and he gets 6.5% commission on his monthly sales. Use a system of equations to model Ernest's situation and choose the best response below. So the first thing I did, because I'm a visual learner, is I made a table and I kind of looked at it quickly to see what's going on, and I realized we have a y-intercept and a slope. And so I'm going to rewrite these two, Plan A and Plan B, as lines. So the first one, Plan A, is y equals, and because I'm in slope-intercept form, I'm going to do the slope first. Now the salary is a straight number, so we don't need to do anything there. It's just the $1,840. That tells me it's the y-intercept. But this commission, the 20%, is going to change how much he gets in the end, his pay, depending on how much he makes in his monthly sales. So that's the part that's going to be changing. It's going to be 20% or 0.2, changing it to a decimal, of his monthly sales. So I'm going to do of, which is times his monthly sales, and I'll call that X because it's our variable. Whoops. And then we get to add to that $1,840 for his salary. Now the other one, same thing. We have his pay is going to be equal to the percent, and I'm going to change this to a decimal as well, of 0.065 times his monthly sales, and then add his $2,210 for his monthly salary. Now we want to find the solution to this system of equations. So we can do this algebraically. We could try and do it graphically, but it's not going to be as precise. So let's go ahead and do this algebraically. And we could just, because it's already worked out where y equals and y equals, we could just do substitution, and since this equals y, we just put this part here, and we end up with the right-hand sides equaling each other. So I'm going to copy this, paste it here, and press equals, and copy this, and equals that. Okay, so now I need to solve this by getting x's on one side and everything without an x on the other. So to do that, I'll start on the left-hand side. I want to subtract 1,840. Whoops. It thinks I'm doing something. Oh, there we go. Like a bullet or something like that. But I'm subtracting 1,840 from both sides. So on the left-hand side, because I have positive 1,840 minus 1,840, I'm left with 0.2x, and that's all gone. So I'm trying to keep my equal signs lined up so it looks nice. 0.065x, and then 2,210 minus, you know what, it's right here, so let's just subtract these, equals this minus this. Just doing some quick cell referencing, and we got 370. So this is positive 370. If you weren't comfortable with that, go ahead and you can type it out again or use a calculator if you'd like. Okay, so now I need to continue solving for getting all the x's on the left-hand side. So I want to subtract 0.065x from both so that the x is no longer on the right-hand side. Minus 0.065x and minus 0.065x. And so on the right-hand side, these now cancel, and I'm just left with 370. So, and on the left-hand side, 0.2 minus, I'm going to grab my calculator here so I don't have to change screens on you. So we have 0.065, or 0.2 minus 0.065, and I get 0.135. I hope that's what you guys got when you're working this along with me. Equals 370. You know what? Let's just double check just to make sure I didn't do any typos. Equals 0.2 minus 0.065, just to make sure. Yep, 135. Okay, and then to continue solving for x, I want to divide everything in front of that x to get rid of it. So for my next step, we're going to divide all these terms by 0.135 here. Keep my equal sign lined up so it looks nice and tidy, and divide by 0.135, and I end up with, on the left hand side, x, because 135 divided by 0.135 divided by 0.135 is x, or 1. 1 times x is x. And then 370 divided by 0.135, so equals 370 divided by 0.135. We could have also cell referenced there as well. And I get 2,740. And I'm going to copy and paste that in here because that was fast and I don't have any typos if I copy and paste. There we go. So that tells me that the commissions, his monthly sales for both of them, when x equals 2,740 of his, if that's his monthly sales, then it doesn't matter either of these plans, it will give him the same pay for the month. And we can find out that pay by plugging this into either of these equations. So we could do, because this one's first, might as well, we'll just copy and paste it down here. And we can substitute that whole thing in here for x. And so I'm just going to copy and paste that in. And I always put it with parentheses so that I don't have any typos or mistakes that way. And I know that I need to multiply there. And since this is all here, I'm going to do another quick, fast way and just paste it into Excel and make sure that I get a multiplication sign there. It's not letting me click in there. Okay, multiply, because Excel doesn't know that I need to multiply. And I think everything there looks good. So let's press enter, and we get his monthly pay would be $2,388. Okay, so now we need to know what's happening before this. We could visualize this, or we could plug in a couple of points. So we could find when his sales are maybe $2,000 and when his sales are $3,000 to see where these are going. Or you can kind of visualize where these two lines are to see which one is less and which one is more. So let's go ahead and I'm going to just kind of look at what these would look like on a graph. So this one, it intersects at 1,840 and it has a slope of 0.2 or 2/10. 2/10 is the same as the fraction 1/5. So that's a rise of 1 and a run of 5. So if you wanted to replace this so that it said 2/10, because it's 2/10, that's how you easily convert your fraction or decimal to fraction, and then you can simplify it. 2/10, divide those both by 2, gives you 1/5 to simplify that. If you want to double check me on that work, you could do 1 divided by 5 in your calculator just to verify it gives you 0.2. Because this is as big of a graph paper as I'm not going to try and go up to 1,800. I'm going to define this, my scale here as thousands. So this is 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, just because it'll make it go faster. So ours was 1,800. So if this is 1,000, I'm not quite up to the 2,000 points. So it'll be somewhere around here for my intersection, the y-intercept at 1,800 and something. And then the slope of 1/5, and I means I go up. I could go up 1,000 and over 5,000. I could try and go up 1 and over 5. It's too minuscule to see those. So I'm going to go up 1,000 over 5,000. And that holds true because 1,000 divided by 5,000 is the same ratio as 1/5. Or if I simplified 1,000 over 5,000, it gives me 1/5. So I'm going to insert, I need a shape here. I need a line. We're going to do a double-sided line, and at 1.8 and then up 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maple TA is certainly nice on this, isn't it? So we're doing something like this. I'm going to try and keep my line going through that 1.8, 1,800. Okay, that looks pretty good. Just make sure that I'm going up 1 and over 5. Up 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that looks pretty good. Okay, and the other one, I can also put it as a line in here as well. And it had an intersection, I think, of 2,200 and a slope of 6. So because we're not super exact here, we can rewrite that. This is the tenths, hundredths, thousands, so it's 65 over 1,000. And since my scale's 1,000 up here, so it's not going to be quite as big as my 1/5 or 2/10. So 65 over 1,000, we're going to have to make it a little smaller. So 2,200, and I'm just guessing here so that we can kind of see where these are lining up. So 2,200, it's about right there. And then 65 over 1,000, remember my scale is 1,000, so this is 1,000. So up 65 is only a teeny bit and over 1,000. So really small rise over a run. So I'm going to go here and then up just a little bit to the 1,000, that's 65 over 1,000, and I'm just going to try and extend it. If I wanted to multiply those both by a higher number to make it a larger fraction, I could. Okay, there we go. So it's something like that. If you're not comfortable doing this, you can also go through some algebra and just find which of these is higher here and which of them's higher over here, and that'll help you remember that as well. I think visually it's the same thing, but visually for me, I like knowing where it kind of looks. So the first one, the 2,000, Plan B, 2,200, is actually higher until we get to his monthly sale where these two intersected, and we found down here if his monthly sales are $2,740, it'll be the same right there. It doesn't matter which plan. But beyond that, then the 2,000 Plan B, this one is actually going to be a lower, and because he's going to get paid less with the 6.5%. This one, because we have higher monthly sales here, it actually increases dramatically more. Well, not dramatic, steadily more after that point. So now let's go see which of these works. If you're not okay with that, you can go through here and find some points. So a good way of doing that is just to look at the y-intercept here, actually, because the one is higher here, the 2,200, and the 1,800 is going to be lower here. You'll know where they intersect, then you know where this point is, and then you can just draw your lines to see where they're going to go beyond that. Okay, so if Ernest's sales are exactly $2,741, is that what we got? 2,000. Ours was a little different. Ours was 2,700. Move this over. 2,740 and 74 cents, and it was another 0.74, but I rounded to the nearest penny. So this one is actually not the same as what we got. And it says he earns the same amount of money with either plan. So I'm not going to say that because that's not what my answer was. So the next one, if Ernest's sales are more than $2,740, Plan B is the better plan because he earns more money in 1 month. And we showed that here. Beyond this point, it's actually less because his commission at that point is smaller. So another way of thinking about it is beyond this, because they are equal here, beyond that amount, he's going to earn less because he gets less of a percent of each of those. With Plan A, he gets more. So beyond that, that doesn't make sense because Plan B, he gets a smaller percentage. The next one, this is the same number we got, so that looks good. If Ernest's sales are $2,740, he earns $2,389.12 with Plan B. Let's go see, what did we get with for his answer. Did we write it down? Oh, it's in here. We got $2,388.14, and it will be the same no matter which plan, because it doesn't matter which one we plug that in, because that's where they intersect. So it's actually off a little bit. Let's make sure that my 0.07, I did round this. Let's put 0.74 because I did round. Nope, it's still 88.14. So, and that it only says with Plan B. So it's actually going to be the same with both plans. So let's move to the next one and see if there's another option. If Ernest's sales are more than $2,740.74, Plan A is a better plan because he earns more money in 1 month. That one so far is true, because right here, this is Plan A. He has a lower monthly salary, but he starts earning more beyond that. So this one is correct. And the last one, so I'm going to select that for now and just double check through this. If Ernest's sales are $2,740.74, he earns $2,391.15 with Plan A. Again, because we already plugged that in, we know that this is off a little bit, so I'm not going to go with that one either. Although these two numbers are very similar, so beware. I'm sure the exam will be very similar too, and I did something bad by rounding, and I shouldn't have. So right here, in fact, I probably should have cell referenced this. So I'm going to delete that cell reference so that I know for a fact that that's as accurate as possible. Don't round until the very end. So that's one of those little tips of the trade. Okay, that would be our answer.